Peace, power, positivity. Welcome back to the Meso Selfish Experience, man. I'm excited. Happy New Year, y'all. Hey, man, 1,000 fucking corrupt files later. Technical difficulties, damages to all my equipment. Had to get new equipment, new headphones. Oh shit, new all that. All right, but we back, bro. I'm so fucking excited, bro, because I'm finally comfortable. I finally got shit to where I need it. You know what I'm saying? To where I could really give y'all an experience and get back involved in the podcast space. Don't think for a second I was gonna stop or I was discouraged at all by any of the bullshit. Okay, I needed to regroup. All right, and you take a couple of months, regroup. Obviously, it was a holiday season. Thanksgiving, Christmas, all that extra bullshit, but we are back, all right? Back in full effing effect. Yeah. Uh yeah, what do we miss? I mean, so much, right? I mean, there's the Epstein files, there's Diddy and the Diddy doc. World War III's happening right before our very eyes, practically. Right? We got ICE agents out here murking people in broad daylight, neither here nor there. But what did we miss? I mean, if we're being completely honest, man, we are in a time where, again, y'all, I don't know everything. I don't have all the answers. I'm not smart. I really just think, just perspective, right? We're in a spot where we need to do something, right? And it's gonna take a collective. It's not gonna just take just me. It's not gonna take just some other, you know what I'm saying? It's gotta take all of us. Um, in this last couple months, before everything happened, I was in a space to where I was kind of in a groove podcasting wise, because I had a direction on where I wanted to take it. A little bit more social politically, obviously, but now I'm kind of dialing it back just a little bit on that, and I really want to bring to the forefront the aspect of reframing our brain, like for real, for real. It starts off with the basic shit, like think about the things you regret in life and think about what you're willing to improve on. I think it starts with things like that. I'm not a preacher, I'm not like anybody or a teacher or anything like that. I just really like the way the brain works, and I really take the time to really understand or try to understand how the brain works and how to try to better understand how my brain works, so I can, you know what I'm saying, lend my perspective a little bit more, so I could be able to articulate what I mean a little bit more. And I felt like my first few episodes, it was a lot of brain fog, because I'm just like, how do I tell people? How do I give myself without it sounding like redundant, without it sounding like and know it all, and also too with it also sounding authentic too. And if I'm being completely honest, that's a hard thing to do, especially when you get into this space when everybody feels like they have a voice and opinion, and then also too everybody feels like they're right, and everybody also too just has a narrative. I don't want to have a narrative. I want to speak in fact. All right. I don't know how else to really explain that to y'all, but I can't go about my life and go about this podcast and lend you guys this experience without trying to base it and then root it in fact and root it in experience, in my own self experience, but also too in fact, and not just opinion and not just BS. You know what I mean? Because there's enough of that. It's oversaturated already. I want purity to come from this. But new year, new opportunities, right? So I'm very excited. Excuse the glasses, they still broke, but do plan on getting some more. Again, re-up on vacation, re-up on damn benefits and all that stuff. So I'm gonna get all that stuff squared away for real. Yeah, I miss being behind the microphone in the sense of it giving me a sense of peace and tranquility and being able to just release, pause, uh, express myself in a different way, right? Because I'm not really a person to go on social media anymore and be like, I feel this way or I feel that way. I'm really tucked in the corner for real. Um, Yeah, the only way I'm really gonna be talking and really being vulnerable with people will be through my platform and kind of in the little spaces that I try to build myself in. But other than that, yeah, that it's been kind of challenging. I'm not gonna lie, kind of trying to retool the podcast again and trying to reframework kind of the direction I'm headed. Especially since, like, again, it was such a bummer having corrupted files. I had a few guests podcast that I actually recorded and gone. Recorded a pod with my lady, and I felt like that was a special podcast. That one got cut short because of technical difficulties with my laptop. May have to get a new laptop soon. Whole different story. But it was a little discouraging at that point. But overall, not discouraged by the ups and downs of the podcast and the trajectory of the success of the podcast, right? Like that's the ups and downs are going to happen. So I don't want you guys to think just because views are low or things are low and things are not happening for me that I'm quitting or I'm not. Like if I ever do take another hiatus, it'll just be because I need to get my mind right just so I can get back in front of the camera and be my best, most authentic self for you guys. Nothing more, nothing less. I pinky promise y'all. Because this is something that I really want to do. And this is something I really want in a platform that I really want to have for other people to be able to express themselves in different ways also. Before I get into the nitty-gritty of episode 9, I really just want to continue to shout out the the Grits and Eggs podcast with Deontay Kyle and Big Ice Cup, and also too the Jam podcast with all of them over there too, and just other little pods that I be listening to here and there, and just everybody who's really stepping up and doing something and getting into the community and putting forth the effort of change that we need to see. I wish I could do more, and and I really shouldn't say that. I can do more and I am going to do more. I just need to put myself into the position. And 2026 is really the year I really want to. I'm inching myself in, pause, but like I'm trying to get myself out there. Being a person who's very reserved um to myself for the most part, not really, you know what I'm saying? I'm not a put myself out there type of person. This is the most you're gonna get when it comes to putting myself out there, because again, it's in my own space and I kind of feel comfortable doing this, but that doesn't mean I don't want to get out there and get involved and provoke thought and also to instill change because it's what we need. President Trump decided to kidnap the president from Venezuela. Y'all know. I'm gonna have to get my wings back, so bear with me. One, if there is anybody who ends up listening to this podcast, all the people who do continue to support, I appreciate y'all. I want to get your guys' specific opinion. What do you make of this? And then two, with everything else that's going on in Somalia, right? What you hear about what's going on in China and all these other places, right? What do you guys make of all what's going on? And as a pattern recognizer myself, again, I see a lot of 1930s shit type happening again, you know? Like, and for me, I don't want to get too deep into it because again, I don't want to be the preacher. I don't want to be the teacher. All I know is what I know. And I don't want to come on here and again sound like a know-it-all, or sound like I have all the answers when it's just literally I'm speaking from my experience and I'm just giving my vulnerability. Because of what I know historically, it kind of seems like we're at a mental stalemate between people who know what to do and don't want to do anything about it, and then people who are just flat out just don't care. Maybe it's a little there's obviously more perspectives into that, but bear with me with this. I think again, there's possibly, or however you want to frame it, a whole ass world war going on, right? And I still take my ass to work every Monday. This is giving me unique perspective because I think about all the other world wars that happen, right? And I think about what people could have done and what people were doing to try to, make things right. And what were the things that were in place, and who was in charge, and who were the people who were in the front lines to actually try to understand what was going on around them, right? Instead of just letting things happen. It's a lot. It's a lot to unpack. From a personal experience and from again, historical context, we're in very dangerous times. Shout out to a lady, I won't say her name, but that was murdered by the ICE agent, and condolences to her family. Guys, if that doesn't show you the social hierarchy that we're in, of an ICE agent murked a white woman, in broad daylight. I know some of you guys have seen Shark Tales, right? When he was like, There's single cell amoebas. There's whale poop, and then there's you. So bear with me. A white woman gets murked in broad daylight. Nothing happened. What do you think's gonna happen to you? What do you think that message was? They're gonna treat a quote unquote America's cream of the crop like that? Oh man. Man, don't let a person of color or anything like that be caught up in those situations because hey, listen, it's whoa, pause. That was crazy. But listen, it's on site every single time, bro. Every single time they see one of us, oh, they reaching straight for the gun. Dangerous times, bro. Dangerous times, bro. And to think like people are willingly and mindfully just going along with it is the reason why we're in this in the first place. There's no true backbone. No one wants to truly speak up and say the right thing or do the right thing, right? And honestly, I know it's taking me some time, but I'm only doing so much of what I can through the resources and the tools and the information that I know. Because again, I don't know everything, and the more I come across, the more I get upset, and the more I'm just like, damn, like I don't need to be at work right now. I need to be doing something else. I need to be out there in the streets, but also this not like in the street, but you know what I mean, like on the front lines, at least talking to more people, getting ingratiated in these spaces to where we can again inflict thought and provoke change. But I got a son to provide for, so I do definitely get that mentality of nah, but I got a family. I can't, sacrifice and do these certain things because I got a family. But when are we gonna wake up and realize that yes, we all have families, but in 20 years we may not have that same family dynamic because of the things that we're doing now. And I get, you know what I'm saying, live in the moment, do things in the moment, be free, do whatever. But just know the more you guys do this, the more that we continue to just let shit pass by, the more we're gonna just be desensitized to seeing white women get murdered in broad daylight. We're gonna see little kids get murdered in broad day. It's disgusting what's going on in the world right now, all over the fucking world, all over the world. I do still plan on, you know what I'm saying, having more or less lighthearted conversations with people and still having people on the show. And those pods will be a little different, obviously. You'll get more of the laid back version of me, and you'll get more of a unique experience as far as like just kicking the shit and But I want you to know that I will continue to pick people's brains on what's going on around them and how that makes us all feel. We shouldn't have to be in a fright and flight kind of conditioned. I don't even know what to call it, y'all. Like maybe like it just seems like everybody's just in a play and everybody's just playing along. We shouldn't have to be in this like daze of just like, fuck it. It is what it is. We really make it what we make it. And it just seems like it every day is just less and less people who are willing to want to do the right thing to make it better for the next person and for every. Now, again, I only want to do as much as I'm allowed, and I'm only going to do as much as I'm allowed, but I do want to do everything I possibly can do because that's just what I believe in. And if I'm being honest, like that's the legacy I want to leave behind. Like I don't really care about money like that. I don't care about, like I like having nice shit, like obviously, like, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not I'm goal driven and I'm ambitious in change. I don't believe in being comfortable in this America. I believe in being comfortable and possibly better systemic America, right? Or a better America systemically. And I get there's a lot of work that has to be done. And honestly, I may not even see that part, that America. I may be long gone whenever that happens, but that doesn't mean I don't want to put forth the effort in to that direction of that so that my son and his son or daughter, kids down the line could have a better life. Cause isn't that what it's really for, right? I mean, when you get down to really thinking about and talking about what's actually important for everybody and individually, it comes down to protecting family, I think. And what better way to do that than try to put forth a better environment for them, you know? I don't know. I guess that's just the way I look at it. Um Along this journey, I understand that it's not gonna be popular what I'm saying. I'm not gonna be a fan favorite or however you want to put it or whatever. I really just I'm not going out like a sellout, bro. Like I'm not going out like I'm not gonna be the one going out and they said, damn, Isaiah didn't speak up and say shit or he didn't do shit. Like hey, listen, I hate to be some of y'all. That's all I will say. I just hate to be some of y'all because I can't sit on my ass and not do nothing. Cause then when shit goes to shit and then everybody's like, oh, what happened? What did we do? We didn't do nothing, bro. It's that simple. And I get people are scared, but bro, I think I'm mentally at a place, bro. I'm not scared or in fear because, bro, one, I'm not really scared of dying like that. And two, like, what's you guys think there's a better alternative? Like, I mean, I'm saying like I know there's a better alternative that we can strive for, but bro, like y'all really think like there's nothing that could be done? Like I don't know how to word exactly what I'm feeling, but it just seems to me again that it's not of the foremost importance. I don't even know what the fuck I'm trying to say with that. Pretty much what I'm getting at is it doesn't seem like it's that important for everybody to want to change. It just seems like it's very much go with the flow. And we've been going with the flow for so long. Now it's starting to topple over, and we're going to have unsettling, uncomfortable conversations for a better future. Because without these unsettling and uncomfortable conversations, they're going to lead us into traps that we may not be able to dig ourselves out of. And that's kind of what I'm getting at. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. You know, everybody wants to be inclusive. Everybody wants to be accepting and all that shit. Like, I get it. I promise you I get it. But no. You know what I'm saying? Fuck no. Because here's why. That's the type of mindset, that type of like comfortable and not wanting to grow is what stagnated us as a country, which then made us dumber and then led us to this. The president we have, the situation we're in, the predicaments we may run across and put ourselves into. Like, it's scary. It truly is scary to me, but I'm not in fear, bro. Like, it's scary because, yeah, we all can die. We're all gonna die anyway. But it's one of those things where it's not gonna get any better unless we do anything about it. And I know one person, and I may have mentioned this in another a podcast to you, has said, I forgot what they had said, but it was along the lines of like talking is not gonna solve it, pretty much, right? But I think people are missing the point because it's such a face value thing. Like they see somebody like saying things of this nature behind a camera and like, oh, you're not doing shit. You're talking behind the camera. But it's like, you're not listening to the message, bro. And I know some people may not even get this far, but the people who do get this far, appreciate y'all for staying tuned for 20 minutes in, you know what I'm saying? The message is that we can do something behind the microphone, believe it or not. It just starts with conversation. Cause you just, for me, even if it's minuscule, bro, even if it's so incremental, movements matter, bro, and they're necessary, which is why I'm willing to even do my part. Cause this is to me on the macro scale of it all, I think about the importance of even just the little shit, bro, the little cogs in the system, bro, even just the little shit that I do. And to me, this is just a little shit. So what? It's just being behind a microphone saying my opinion about how I feel. And maybe it's just talk, but still something. And it's still something I'm passionate about to the point to where I know that it's necessary. And I know I'm doing the right thing. And I could live with that. I could live with that. I could go to sleep well at night. I could look my son in the face. I could look myself in the face. I could look my girl in the face. I can look the people in my life in the face and say that I'm doing my part. And I'm always going to strive to do better. I'm always going to strive to be as vulnerable as possible, as authentic as possible in the process, as honest as possible in the process. And I'm going to hold myself with integrity doing it. And I promise you guys, I'm going to do my best. Because that's all we could do at the end of the day. And I get that. Like, you know what I'm saying? I get everybody's trying to do their best, but I need people to really more or less be about it than just say it. I think we just got so comfortable with just saying shit that we don't, actually put forth the efforts, right? But I get it, because of the fucked up economy, you know, things aren't set in place, for certain people to do what they want to do and be who they want to be. But it takes a choice. It takes a choice and it takes some sacrifices. And honestly, I think that's another thing too. Like sacrifice to the scale in which that we really need it may not be what's on everybody's plate. And unfortunately, you guys, like it's gonna require a tremendous amount of sacrifice individually from everybody in order for this to work. Like, and for me personally, even given my personal experiences in life, I've always had to think of stuff a little bit differently. And I've always looked at stuff a little bit differently. And because of that, like it's just led me here. You know what I'm saying? I guess with all that being said, it's kind of just uh, I always want to make sure that I'm putting my best foot forward, always. And I want to make sure that no matter what, again, my son can be proud of me. So that's all I can ask for. And I feel like I'm doing a pretty decent job, but again, it's more of the work, and I'm not running from the work. I promise y'all, I'm back. As long as my equipment will allow me, I am back. We are back. I'm so effing excited. I probably used too many cuss words already. I'm sorry. Yeah, what to look forward to? I do have a group pod scheduled on the 24th. Hopefully, I can get that out to y'all. um, I am gonna try to recover some of these files that got corrupted. Hopefully, I can, so you guys can get some of those pods back too. If not, I mean, there's still more content on the way, and I'm so glad I was able to get some of my equipment back and kind of, was able to handle, make sure, the fort was up and running still. My son is good, and also still be able to maintain my life too. It's not easy, but it's not impossible, and it's never gonna be. You know what I mean? It, I think, life is obviously what we make it. And as long as I continue and we all continue to try our best and strive for, the betterment for the people, we're gonna be okay. I can't promise that it's gonna look pretty, and I can't promise it's gonna look pretty fast, but we're gonna be okay as long as we do the right thing. But it's gonna take a lot of from a lot of people in order to get things the way we want it to be. But I haven't I haven't gotten eh, I have not and will not give up on us because I know how important this is and how necessary this is. With that being said, that has been episode 9. Um yeah, obviously I still got a lot more on my mind, but I still kind of just want to, I don't want to unload all pause. Damn. I don't want to I don't think there's a unpause worthy way of saying that actually, to be honest. But long story short, I don't want to just give all of my thoughts all at once because it's maybe a little unhealthy, especially since, given I had a couple months off and to just like freshly hear a nigga face and or hear a nigga face is crazy. Just off the rip, just hear my voice out of nowhere and just be like, oh damn. And then it's just like damn, damn, damn for like over an hour. That's a little bit too much. So keep it short and sweet. Yeah, like I said, gonna try to do these maybe I don't know if once a week is maybe the route this time around because one, I got a little side project that I'm working on with my family, kind of going over you'll see. I kind of got some things in the works there, and then obviously, life is moving super fucking quickly, so I want to be able to cover an array of different topics from time to time. But every week, if everybody's cool with that, I try to do that. But maybe like every week and a half, too. And then obviously, like I said, definitely once a month have a guest or a few guests on, um, just to continue to push that conversation and pick people's brain and gain perspective, right? Because that's what this is what the experience is for. Other than that, listen, bro, like damn, I think that shit turned off, y'all. All right. Oh well. I really appreciate everybody who supports, who listens, who actually listens to me. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. It feels like over the past year in 2025, if I can be completely honest with you, it feels like my voice has drowned it out a lot amongst my peers, amongst people that I love. And, you know, sometimes I really do feel like my podcast is really my only outlet to really be heard sometimes. So again, I really appreciate y'all. Uh, and again, it's not like throwing my family or nothing like that under the bus or anybody that I love underneath the bus. It's more of just like they're busy. They have their own lives too. Everybody's working on themselves individually. And sometimes, like, all that's in my mind and all that's on my spirit can't be on them. Like, these are walks and talks of my life and my journey that I have to get through myself. And hopefully, you know what I'm saying, with y'all in the sense of being vulnerable and being open and honest about that. Long story short, short story long. I don't fucking know. Again, episode 9. Welcome back. And I appreciate y'all. Let's get this whole year rocking. Let's get started. I'm excited for what's to come this year. Hopefully by the end of this year, we could look completely different and be healthier, wiser, and in a better space in life. But we shall see. All right, y'all. Checking out.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.